The Game Code. If I lived in Canada, it would probably be my second favorite show. I'm a big fan of Trailer Park Boys.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're still here at PAX East 2013 in Boston, Massachusetts. Now, arguably the biggest news going into PAX this year was that Blizzard would be making a major announcement. And this wasn't going to have anything to do with their MMO Project Titan, but it was going to be something vastly different from what they've done up until this point. This was the first thing we wanted to check out when we got to PAX.
All right, good morning, PAX East. Thank you guys a lot for coming to this. It's really exciting doing a Blizzard announcement here because ever since we started BlizzCon, we've been doing almost all of our announcements there. So this feels a little more old school for me, which I think is really appropriate considering what I brought you guys here to see today.
It is said that wars are only won upon the anvil of honor.
Others believe victory requires strategy and a mastery of power.
War is deception, a game played best from the shadows. Only strength and raw power can assure total dominance.
But of course, you could forget all that and just have fun! Hearthstone! Heroes of Warcraft.
So it looks like the big announcement from Blizzard was a tradable card game, or TCG, based on the Warcraft universe. Now, I think it would be a stretch to say that this kind of game was going to be my cup of tea, but there was actually some pretty interesting stuff that was announced that did kind of ease my skepticism of a game like this.
So I guess the first question that a lot of people ask, especially when we first tell people internally what we're working on, is, why a collectible card game? And the reason is that I think a lot of people at Blizzard have really played collectible card games for a really long time. A lot of us, I remember playing Magic the Gathering when I first started at Blizzard, and there was a huge crew of people that would always be playing it, and there's been so many card games since then. But really, I don't think there's been a lot of great translations to make digital or online card games. And that's something that Blizzard's always, I think, done really well, is look at something that is already a really fun game, but maybe it's a little bit hardcore, and how do we make it much more accessible and make it something that anyone would play, not just, us hardcore CCG nerds.
First off, the game will be free to play. Probably not a huge surprise to anyone, as a freemium model is the direction games are headed. And especially when you consider the type of game that Hearthstone is, this makes a lot of sense. For Blizzard, it looks like their free-to-play model will have players start with a base deck and get boosters or 5-card packs that can be added to your inventory by playing to unlock or by purchase.
So we really put a lot of time and effort into creating a really cool and interesting card collection that's really fun to actually collect and build decks with.
One of the first things that we noticed was the game does actually look a little more put together than your standard TCG. The board looks very lively, and even to the uninitiated, you can get a fairly decent sense of what's going on just by watching a match unfold. This game is filled with the quirky charm that the fans of the Warcraft universe will expect. Since this style of game is fairly minimalistic in its hardware requirements, Blizzard also noted that there will be an iPad version available soon after the initial PC Mac launch. Some of the other features that stood out were those designed to make the mechanics of the game much more streamlined for those who are unfamiliar with the online TCG style. For example, there's a fairly straightforward deck building tool, and the system for dishing out booster packs seems pretty intuitive. One of the other things that caught our attention was the ability to transform duplicate cards from your boosters into a point system for purchasing different cards. Since this game is class-based, this should actually make it a less daunting task to build a perfect deck, and seems to fit well with the freemium model.
So at the beginning, the person's picking their own cards. So they're going to go through and pick their class, which is a rogue. And then they're going to initially just pick some of the cards to make sure that's in their deck. So they're going to pick some higher end abilities for the rogue with higher mana costs. And then once they get those abilities in the deck, then they're going to go into kind of suggest a card. So now you can see they decide to start getting cards suggested to them, which now you'll just kind of get different choices. So there's looking for class-specific cards, and just choosing from 3 different cards that are class-specific. Now it's looking for cards that are a little bit cheaper because it realized that the deck, is really lacking those low mana cards that you need at the beginning of a game. And now they just want to complete the rest of the deck. The second half of the deck just gets completed automatically by the AI. And then you can see the tool, and then went ahead and named the deck the Mulan Rogue. And that is deck creation. animation, and it's focused primarily on just on one-on-one. So you'll go into the game, and it uses Battle Net matchmaking, which has been something we've really been evolving for years and years now. And I think the matchmaking system is really great and should really help out a lot for novice players to end up playing against novice players. And then you can duel online each week. We have a whole medal ranking system, and the main purpose for the medal system is just each week you can kind of earn medals in the game, and as you earn medals, that's how you earn new booster packs. So it should be a fun system, kind of week to week. You re-earn your medals, you re-earn booster packs, and that kind of validates the amount of time you've been playing the game.
Of course, the question that always comes up when Blizzard makes an announcement: when? I think we'll give the last word back to Rob Pardo from Blizzard.
Hearthstone, yeah. I mean, we looked at it, yeah. Well, I know at least me and him, like, we played Warcraft 3, like, way back in the day. And we played a bit of World of Warcraft. And we were kind of looking at it, we're like, this is a card game from Blizzard. And, like, me and him, like, we really like the lore of Warcraft, and we're fans of Blizzard, so. And it's free to play, and, I'll probably look at it.
Give it a go.
Give it a go, yep.
It's not exactly my cup of tea. I mean, I don't play that many collectible card games in general, so that part doesn't speak to me, but hey, if it's free to play, I'll certainly check it out.
Yeah, I like, some, I like Magic, so I like Blizzard's concept as art. I like their art, so I can check it out.
For me, what I love most about Blizzard is the fact that they make a very good storyline. They spend a long time doing that, and so I'm hoping if they can continue that Warcraft tradition of enhancing the world, so to speak. I don't want the world of Warcraft. It'll definitely be worth checking out.
I mean, I didn't see much about the game, but honestly, I love Blizzard games. World of Warcraft caused me to drop out of a class in college. That was embarrassing. And I love card games, so I'm excited.
Now, Capcom's been making some of our favorite games for a really long time, and in fact, they're celebrating their 30th anniversary this year. Talking about things that are coming up in their 30th year, as well as some surprises, this was a panel we weren't going to miss at PAX.
Who are you? I'm the voice you have to listen to if you want to live. My name is Edge. You have to trust me, sis. The year is 2084, and this is Neo Paris.
It's always exciting to see new IP come from any developer, and Remember Me looks like a game that has a lot of promise. You play as Nilin, an agent tasked to break into minds and steal memories, in a dystopian world where memories are a form of currency. From the panel and seeing the game on the floor, for any fans of Blade Runner, this might be the closest you can get to playing the iconic sci-fi movie. With its interesting visuals and intriguing story concept, this is a game that should be on everyone's radar. Look for its release in early June.
To take what someone is, to rewrite their history. To play God.
Capcom was eager to show off their latest Resident Evil title, Revelations. Now, technically speaking, this is somewhat of a re-release, as Revelations was first launched on the 3DS, but this brings a portable experience to your console and PCs, with new monsters and areas to explore. Big highlights from PAX were the inclusion of Hunk and Rachel, throwback characters from older RE titles. Look for this game to drop in late May.
Different. If you did play the first one, you can go in there with that eye detail and kind of examine things like that. Improved gameplay, there's been stuff added as far as new weapons and skills and stuff, as well as Hunk and Rachel, who were two characters we very much requested to be in raid mode, have been added, and there's some gameplay, I think, on the show floor you can play as either one of them. Rachel being one of the characters new to Revelations, and then Hunk, I think everybody knows, mostly from RE2. This will have Resident Evil.net support, and it's actually a bit more integrated than RE6 was. So if you were using RENet for RE6, you can look forward to some cooler rewards and cooler incentives of Revelations. We haven't really gone too much into exactly what they are, but there will be actual content you can work with. It should be pretty cool.
From a world of untold adventure comes two classic tales, remastered for a new generation.
So just in case some of you guys aren't familiar with the original Dungeons & Dragons arcade games that we made, basically they're 4-player experiences. You're going to be able to play as 6 unique characters and battle hordes of classic fantasy D&D monsters. So we have all the classic character archetypes. We have the fighter, the dwarf, the cleric, the elf, and Shadow over Mystara adds 2 new characters, the magic user and the thief. So all the characters play very uniquely, very differently. So it's going to be up to you guys to find out which character suits your playstyle best, and for you to team up with your friends to create the best multiplayer party possible, and then go and hack and slash some monsters. 2 games completely remastered in HD in one complete package. So we're bringing back Tower of Doom and Shadow over Mystara for Xbox Live Arcade, PSN, Wii eShop, and PC Steam. So this will be available this June.
Life is like a hurricane. Blue skies, lasers, airplanes. It's a duck blur. Minds are a mystery. Won't rewrite history. DuckTales, woo! Every day they're out there making DuckTales, woo!
So as you can see, it was we're working with the guys at Way Forward on this title. They recently have done Double Dragon, Blood Rain. They have a really good pedigree of doing classic retro games. We worked with them years ago on Shantae for Game Boy Color. So we took the original NES game, using it as a blueprint, putting it in their engine, and all the character art is hand-drawn in a very typical Disney fashion. The environments are 3D rendered, as you can see from the trailer. We're also working very closely with Disney to make sure that everything seems right. It feels like DuckTales the show. We have authentic character voices, so not just like the actual talent that Disney uses, but we actually have some of the original voices. So Scrooge McDuck is the original voice from the cartoon, will be in here.
All right, so we just got out of the big Capcom panel, a couple of announcements. We've got Steve here. What are you excited about?
Oh man, the DuckTales re-release was definitely very exciting. It looks like an awesome game, back from blast from the past, NES. There looks like they're doing something with Street Fighter again. They gave out these really cool T-shirts. The fan favorite characters, Ryu #1. My favorite Cammy is #5. I'm also, like the Dungeons and Dragons stuff. It's like the side scroller beat 'em ups. I haven't played those in a long time. Looking forward to try that out. Definitely Remember Me. That's their new game. It looks really exciting, really cool. I'm looking forward to try that out on the floor today.
So are you old enough to remember DuckTales in good memory?
Oh yeah, definitely. I remember the pogo stick. Yes, I guess it was his cane. He used to bounce around on his cane. Yes, I definitely remember those.
It was a great panel. I just have to say one thing about Jerry. She's my character, and she's in the top 10. Rock on.
The panel was awesome. I'm glad to see that they're making improvements to Street Fighter. I'm really heavy in the fighting games. I love them. I definitely feel like the route that they went by rejuvenating a lot of the retro titles is the way to go. Retro is definitely coming back. I remember back in the days, of junior high school and elementary school, playing DuckTales and going to the arcade and playing Dungeons and Dragons. It was definitely a good time. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get Strider. I wanted Strider. That's one of my favorite games as well. But overall, I love Capcom. Love what they're doing. Man, shout out to Capcom. That's it.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be coming back very soon with more of our coverage from PAX East 2013 in Boston.